Hi guys, it is I. Today I thought we would have a look at making some gift ideas, because obviously with what's going on in the world at the minute, I've been making gifts for people, pendants and things, and I wanted to try and make something that I've got, but I wasn't too sure how to go about it, so this is what I've decided I'm going to do. You're going to need some sort of tube. Now you could use, I haven't put mine in the oven, but I know people have used them. You could use your roller, you know, you just need something that's about 3/4 of an inch. Or bigger, it's entirely up to you. I know some people use wooden dowels, but I haven't got anything like that that's suitable for the oven, so I made this, and all I did was roll up some thick paper, thin card, and I've just covered it in some masking tape, just to make it a bit more sturdy. And then I've got one of my pie dishes, and I got my husband to cut some of my tiles in half. I just like having a tile in the bottom. I always have put a tile in the bottom of my pan. I think it helps with the heat distribution. Some of you may have beading racks. Again, not something I've got, so I've just made this. I basically cut a couple of slits in my pan, put a tile in the bottom, and this is going to just rest on there like that. And this is sturdy enough that I can work on it without worrying about what I'm doing deforming. And what I'm going to make today is, I'll just put this to one side. I'm going to make some rings, pattern them. I think what I might do is make a mokume style block, because I think that would look pretty, and I'm just going to make different sized rings that you can thread onto a scarf, if that makes sense. I've got one, and it broke because it was just like a cheap plastic, and I really like it, but of course, and now it's broken, so I thought I'd try and make another one with clay. And also I'm going to make, you know, the like scarf rings, so you can pass your scarf through it and it just jazzes your scarf up a little bit. I hope that makes sense. You'll see it in the photo anyway at the beginning, but obviously I don't photo it till I've finished. So I'm going to get some bits of clay together. I'm just going to use probably silver metal, and maybe some white and black. I'm going to keep it really neutral because most of my scarves are neutral coloured, and I just thought that sort of colour would go with anything anyway. So of course use whatever colours you want to use. So I'll go and get some clay conditioned, and we'll take it from there. See you in a minute. Okay guys, I've got some silver Cernit, some Hematite Cernit. Again, you can use whatever colours you want, and I've just rolled them out on a 4. I've got a bit of white, again rolled out on a 4, a bit of black rolled out on a 4, and I've just done some black on a 0 for my backing. So I'll just put that black to one side. And I'm just going to layer everything up. I'm just going to cut these in half. Do it that way. They don't have to be perfectly shaped. We can address that as we're putting it together. I don't want a lot of white in there, but I'll put white on the bottom. And just as my starter piece. So what I'm going to do is in fact I'll put 2 bits of white on the bottom. Make sure it's smoothed down nicely. Right, so we're going to do, let's see, I think I'll trap the foil between some black and white, so I'm going to put some silver on, then some hematite on. Ooh. Just doing that, then I don't get any bubbles. I'll just trim this piece off, and then I'm going to do a piece of black, then I'll put some foil on, foil, then I'm going to put this piece of white on over that, just trim that excess off. Just getting some semblance of order in it. Then I'll put a bit of hematite on again. Oh, didn't do the best with that, did I? These are just scraps left over from the other day. I'll just pop that on. Then a bit of silver. I could possibly do with another band of white, so I'm just gonna put another piece of white on. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just gonna oh, I've got some black here, haven't I? Yeah, I'll put another bit of foil on. And then black on the top. There. That'll do for that. Bit of black on the top. Just trim that bit off, and then I'll just give everything a smooth and a roll. Let me just put these bits to one side. Where's me? I'll just pick it up and flip it. Oh, cat fluff. And a bit of red. I don't know who that's got in there. Must be off my blades from yesterday, my machine from yesterday. Oh, and there's a bit more red. And I thought I'd cleaned my machine. Right, so that's that. I'm just going to cut it in half. And I want the black on top, so I'll do it like, oh, I could put a bit more silver there, couldn't I? I'll just trap a bit more silver in between this black and white. Oh, get off. Stretch that a bit so it's the same size. And I'll just give it another roll. I'm going to make this one quite, so my layers are quite thin. And you could pass it through the machine, I just prefer doing it this way. Just going to make sure that the top and bottom catch up. Just give it a go that way as well to widen it. And I'll chop it in half again. Let's just make sure that they're about the same size. And I will, again, just trap a bit of silver in between that black and white, and white on the bottom, see. Give this a little roll. And there we go, got a nice block and a couple of bubbles. And I'm just going to take my big ball tool, if I can find it. What did I do with them? I tied it up, it's fatal, isn't it? Oh, there it is, it's hiding. Oh, where is it? When my big one is, I'll just use this one and just push some circles in. And try and get it back together. Easier to pick it up sometimes. Nearly there. And there we go. I think that should be okay now. Oh, did you hear my tummy rumbling? Sorry. Oh, while I'm on, guys, I had a lady telling me that she thought my sound was a bit quiet. Now the microphone is literally right near my mouth, and I maybe do talk softly, but I've not had any issue. I don't think I've got any issues with my sound. But if any of you think that there is an issue, like everything's a bit too quiet even when you've turned it up on your phone or whatever you're watching on, could you let me know? I'm not too sure what I can do, but it's nice to know that, you know, maybe this lady just didn't have a volume turned up very well on her phone. She said it was on her phone. So if any of you think I'm a bit too quiet, could you just leave me a message and I'll see if I can tweak the volume when I'm editing the video, because I try not to have any background noise or anything, and you know I don't put music in or anything, but nobody seems to have had an issue with it previously, so I just find it a bit weird that this lady has. But anyway, right, I'm going to let this rest because it's Cernit and it is quite squidgy. I'll just pop that to one side and give my desk a bit of a wipe. And then there we go. Right, now this is on a 0 on my pasta machine for my backing. And what I thought I would do is, if I get my tube, I can get a rough idea of the size I need to go around, then I'm not being wasteful. So if I just cut a straight line, and I'll just tidy this end off as well. Because what I'm going to do is cover this piece and then cut different pieces for different sizes. So if I just roll this, roll this over, I can get an idea. So that's about there. I can get an idea then how much I need to wrap around this without and having a reasonable joint. I'll just add these bits on the end here. Then I know I've not got any waste bits. Oh, I didn't do that very well, did I? And this needs a little bit on the end. It might be better if I worked on a bit of paper, to be honest, wouldn't it? Oh, that's not my rolling pin. Just give this a burnish with my finger, just to make sure that that joint's jointed. Right, that should be okay now for what I need. I can always roll some more out if needs be. Let's just pick it up. Oh, and that bit just didn't want to stick, did it? There we go. Do it the other way as well. As this is my backing, as long as it's reasonably smooth on the inside, I'm not too fussed. And I don't think this is my best blade, it's not very sharp, this one, so I will just grab my other one, but this is going to be the base for putting my mokume garnet on. And what I'm going to do is just cut different widths to make different bands for whatever it is I'm doing. What am I doing? You know what I'm doing. For my scarf rings. Brain dead today, guys, I tell you, brain dead. Right, now I don't know whether to take slithers from this. Oh, you can't see, can you? Let's move this backing up a bit. I don't know whether to do the usual and take some slithers, or maybe just cut something all the way through thin slices. Let's have a see how it reacts today. Oh, that's a lovely pattern. Look at that. Maybe I will take some thin slices. I'm just going to turn it around, guys, because I tend to cut on a wedge. I don't know why. I just do. And it's still a bit squishy, so I'm just going to cheat. Right, I'm going to pop these through my machine and just thin them down a bit, and then I'll start building up on the doodah. In fact, I'll cut a few, and then I can just, because I've got, oh, that's a bit thick. Let's start again. I've got a mortar now on my pasta machine. It's my Christmas present, but I was allowed to have it early. So the hubby's treated me to a mortar, which I love, but good God, is it noisy. So noisy. So I don't want to film while I'm doing it. I'm just going to put some of these thinner pieces on. I might save the thicker pieces for my for the other thing I want to do. Yeah, I think I'll do that, guys. I'll put these thinner bits on and just layer these up, because it is slicing quite nicely. Although that one's a bit thick, but never mind. Put you there. I'm just going to stretch this bit a bit so that it fits all the way across. Trim that little bit off. Fill that hole with it there. This was a thinnish bit, wasn't it? Let's put you there. Yeah, at least when they're thinner you can manipulate the pieces a bit better, can't you? I'll pop that bit there in that hole. Just chopping the edge bit off because it was a bit thick. Let's turn this round again. I'm just going to keep adding little slices. Few little tiddly bits to catch, and then we'll be done. Pop you there. Yeah, I can use these thicker bits for using on the other thing I want to make, the like scarf slide. Right, put you to one side. Let's get you picked up. Now I think I will just pass this through my pasta machine just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'll be back in a sec, okay? Okay guys, I'm back. I'm just going to burnish it with a bit of paper, and then I'll trim it up just to make sure it's okay. But I think I'm going to put it on another backing because it is quite thin. It's just a 0 setting, but I'll give it a burnish first just to make sure there's no lumps or bumps anywhere. Oh, just a little bit there. There, that's all lovely and smooth now. Quite a funky pattern that, isn't it? Might be a bit too funky for me. Maybe I put a bit too much white in, but it's cool. I'm just going to pick this up and pop it on some paper, and I will just go and get myself another block of black to sit it on. I think they'd be better if they were a little bit thicker. So I'll just go and condition a bit more clay, guys. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we've got black clay. Now I'm just going to lay this over. Gently smooth, then I know there's no bubbles. Give it a little burnish, and then I'll just trim it nicely back into a square. Scraps off this black clay, then I don't waste anything. That's not going to come off, it's stuck. There we go. Right, so now then, I think what I might do is just do quite a thick band, then I may do a couple of wavy ones, and then a couple of thicker ones again. Right, I'm going to start from this end. Let me see. I'm just going to pick this up, guys, and line it up with the grid on my desk a bit better, so that I can measure things properly. Right, that's better. So I think I'll do 2 1/2-inch ones. Like so. like to do 2 really thin ones, but I'm not sure how they'd stand up. Maybe that's thin enough. Right. Now I'm going to have to do these all together, aren't I? So, now then. Maybe I could do one with, right, I'll do 2 thin 2-inch ones, and then I'm thinking that I'll use this piece for my centerpiece. Let's just pick these up and pop them to one side, and then this will be for my centerpiece. So what can we do with this that will make it a bit funkier? I could cut into it, couldn't I? Oh yeah. I've got an idea. Let's find maybe my circle one will work well. Could do with being a bit bigger circle though, couldn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a bit of a circle out of each side. I just need to find a circle cutter that'll catch each edge without taking too much away. I think that one. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself maybe a 1/4 inch either side of the circle. Can you see? I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch there and a 1/4 inch there, and cut that piece out. And then just to be sure I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to pop this on this edge. Let's move these, and I can use that as a guide to make sure I'm doing the same on that side. It's a little bit bigger, but it'll be fine. Can maybe use them for something else at a later date. Right, so let's get these edges nice and smooth. Of course, this edge and this edge are going to join when it gets wrapped around. So I just want to smooth these edges here. Make sure they're nice and bonny. A few people have been saying how they like how I say nice and bonny. It just makes me chuckle. I don't know if it's, I'm assuming more than me say it in the UK, but it's something my nana used to say all the time when she was baking. She'd finish doing what she was doing and then she'd say, oh, look at them, nice and bonny. So I'm just smoothing off these edges with my finger, just to round them a little bit. Nothing too drastic, and I will pick them up in a second before I wrap them and make sure there's no crumbs underneath. I'm just going to turn it and run my fingers over on all of them. I'll cut the edge on that one, but you'll not see it. Just so I know that them edges are lovely and smooth. And there's no crumbles. Again, you could probably smarten these up as they come out, but again, I will reiterate, it's better to go in the oven nice and bonny. Right, now I'm going to get a little bit of my black liquid clay because I want to make sure I've got an absolutely perfect bond on these. So let's start with this one. I'm going to wrap it around like so, and it just needs that little, can you see, it's just joining nicely. So I'm just going to put a dollop of this on my desk, and I'll just pick some up on my pokey tool and just run a little bit in there just to make sure I've got a lovely bond. And then I'm just going to gently get these edges to come together. Make sure they're nice. And then I'm just gonna run my nail over the crease. In fact, I did have let's use my rubber tool just to make sure that these are blending nicely and coming together nicely. There we go, that's one. Let's do this one. Again, I'm just, in fact, let's do it the other way, then I know all my seams are facing the right way. Teensy bit of liquid clay on that edge, just to be on the safe side. And bring my edges together like so. And where's my rubber tool? And I'm just gently rubbing between these two just to make sure that that joint is closed, and the same on the top. I'm just going to roll this just to make sure it's nice and flat, but I can do that at the end as well. I think I'll do this bigger next. Where's them seams? Can't find them now. There they are. This might need a little bit more persuasion to come together. Need to move it up a bit. There we go. Just having to stretch it a little bit to get those bottom seams to touch. But once they're touching, I can just pinch it. And again, run a little liquid clay down the centre, just to be on the safe side. And I'm just going to ease these edges together. these. Just want to make sure that that edge is straight and that edge is straight. Go. Just make sure they're together nice and bonny. So that'll be that bead. Oh, I think I've caught it a bit there. Just going to smooth that one, guys. Can you see I've there we go. The same here, it's the black's just sneaking out underneath. So I'm just going to use my this wooden tool to tuck it in so that it looks nice when you look at the bead. And I can sand that seam back a bit if I'm worried. I'm just going to give it a little. Let's just move these out the way and give my desk a wipe. This is in crumbs. And I'm just going to give that seam a little roll with my hand just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and it's not too flat. Because I can catch some stuff with my Dremel or sanding later. Right, let's do these last two and then we can get them in the oven to bake. Stop, keep rolling, it's driving me mad, that thing. I might do these ones together. Let's get you up there and get you pushed together. Let's just move that up a little bit and get you pushed together, and then I'll get a little liquid clay in there. Again, you probably don't need to do this, guys, but I haven't done it before, have I? So I just want to do a bit of belt and braces to make sure everything's bonded nicely. I just get them edges to come together. I'm just going to get my stick in there because it's distorting it a bit. Get this one together. There we go. Right, I'll just give them a little roll. In fact, I think I might use my... just to make sure I'm not getting any fingerprints on. Let's give them a little roll. Have a quick look, make sure there's nothing sticking out. I don't want to be sticking out. Right, guys, I'm going to pop these in the oven. like so. I'll probably tent it with a bit of cardboard or something. But yeah, I'll pop these in and then we'll come back and polish them up. See you in a bit. Hi guys, while that's in the oven, I just thought I'd just show you how I make the little scarf sliders. And I've put some of the scraps together and I've put them through on 3 on my pasta machine, so they're nice and thin. And I've just got some clay here on a 1, and I'm just going to give myself an idea of how much I need and trim off the excess. And that'll do. And then I'm just going to pick up my piece, and I think I quite like this bit here, so I'm just going to layer that over, just smooth it off, make sure there's no bubbles, and I can cut off the excess here. And so I've got no waste, I've still got this piece to do something with. I'll just give it a little burnish. Make sure there's nothing stuck. Then I've just got an oval cutter here. It's actually a fondant cutter, but it's got quite a nice smooth edge on them, these ones. And I'm just going to line, oh, cat fluff. Just find my edges. I'm just going to line my cutter up. And that will be nice there. And I'm going to leave my cutter in a sec because I don't want it to distort while I do this. And I'm just going to cut 2 circles, one either side here. So, oh, I'll just cut one there. And cut one there. I got some new little cutters. I've got a little doodah to pop your clay out if it gets stuck. And they've got, again, a nice sharp edge, which you know that I love. I'm just giving this a wiggle, just so I know it's all the way through. And I can pick up this excess. Where's my paper? I'll just get myself a small piece of paper, guys. 1 second. There we go. And I can pick, oh, put you out of the way. Okay. Pick my slider up, leave the buttons behind. Just check for crumbs. And in there. And in there. Move those little, make nice little earrings then, wouldn't they? And I'll just pop this down. Make sure it's nice and bonny. Got a bit of something on there. And I'm just gonna round these edges with my finger and make sure it's not distorted. I think that's okay. And I'm just going to go through and do the same in my circles, just to make sure that they're nice and smooth. I think that will do. I'm just going to put a little bit of tissue over and give it a little burnish just in case I've got any fingerprints on. I think we're okay. And there's my little scarf slider. So I'll pop that in the oven as well. And I'm just thinking, while we've got these here, could make some little earrings and a little pendant. Waste not, want not, guys, and all that. I think I'll use these scraps to just marble a back in, and then I'll cut myself out a little matching necklace to go with those. Give me a sec, guys. You know I don't like leaving my scraps behind. This is going to be a long one. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, I've got a bit of marbled clay on the back, and I've put my veneer on the top. Just give it a nice smooth, and find myself a reasonable sized circle cutter. How big do I want it? That big? Or the next one? Yeah, I'll dome them as well, so they look a bit. Just check there's nothing on this cutter. Don't want to mark it. And now I've just got to pick a nice bit. That bit's quite funky there. Don't want to be wasteful though, so maybe I'll cut it a bit higher up. No, I like it there. Give it a little spin in the hopes that it gets rid of that funny edge. These scraps up. Smooth the edge. Give it a little burnish. Let's get it picked up. I'm probably going to have to wait till my other stuff's done before I put these in, unless I put in a small edition. I'm just cleaning these edges up, guys. There's a few crumbs. Sorry guys, my phone started ringing while I was recording. Right, so yeah, that's cut. I've wiped all the crumbs off. There's my other little earringy buttony things, and I'm gonna punch a hole in I'll just get my little cutters out. I said in one of my last videos I was going to do this, didn't I? I just thought I'd try it punching holes in. So I think I'll do, yeah, I'll do them too. Pre-punching a hole in for a cord or the jump ring or whatever. I'll do my pendant first. Just got to decide which way I think it'll look nicest with the hole. I like that way, I think. So yeah, I'll just get this one, which is about a quarter, just under a quarter of an inch, and I'm just going to pop a hole there, give it a spin, And then on my earrings, I'm going to do the same. I've just got to decide. I think I like them both that way up. That way and that way, I think. So I'm just going to pop my hole about there on that one. Come out. And there on that one. I did distort it a little bit, but not much. So there we go, guys. I've got them, and I've got my little scarf slider, whatever you call them. I'll pop these in the oven, and I'll come back to you when everything's baked. See you in a bit. Hi guys, we're back. Right, these are at the oven. I've already given them a bit of a polish. They look pretty nice. I'll just bring you them all up so you can have a little look. Look nice and pretty. I'll give them a good buff. And here's my pendant. I domed it a little bit. Little hole in. I haven't polished these yet. There's the earring discs, and here's the scarf thing. I keep forgetting what they're called. One of them anyway. I've brought one of my favourite scarves down, so once I've buffed these, I'll give you, I'll put these all on a scarf so you can get my drift, and I'll take a few photos as well. So yeah guys, I'm just going to get some sanding bits together. I am not going to go over the top with these, sanding and buffing. The surface is really lovely as it is, so I'm just going to use my shiner and buffer nail file and just give them, in fact with these little ones I'll just lie it down, it's easier for me. They don't need much. And I'll just keep going till it starts squeaking. You can see there the difference. If I just hold it up to the light, there you go. That's just slightly sanded and buffed. So good finish gives you a good finish, if that makes sense. I'm just going to pick this up while I buff around the edges and the such. So that's them, and I'll just do this with you as well. I won't bother doing everything, showing you. You know how I do it by now. I'll just go over with the shiner side. Until I stop feeling, you feel a bit of resistance, if that makes sense. And when I stop feeling resistance, I feel like that's been shined enough or buffed enough or whatever you want to call it. So I'll just go over with this first. Make sure I've got that middle bit that's domey. And I'll just do my edges, although they're very smooth. I've been quite good with this one, haven't I? Well, I've got a bit of a divot there, but I don't think anybody will notice. I'm not going to do anything with the back because it's got like the texture paper on, and it looks quite nice. Looks a bit like a night sky, doesn't it? With those scraps. And I'll just give everything a shine. I mean, you can always you know, take it a step further. But you know me, I quite like that satin finish. And if I'm going to put a really high gloss finish on, I just use resin. So I don't really tend to sand and buff a lot, do I? Not drastically. Although I must admit, some of the ends on these needed a bit of a sand off. So I've got a lovely finish on the end of them. Oh, this is coming up lovely now. So it doesn't take that much elbow grease really, does it? Compared to, you know, some people can take hours. And some people, you can tell people take hours, can't you? Because the finish is like glass. But I'm just happy to give it a little sand and a buff. Sometimes I get my Dremel on it. If it's, you know, a big surface like this, I would probably get my buffer on it from my Dremel, which I might do later. I've got my little square of denim here. I just give it a buff because it gets rid of the dust as well. There we go. Nice satin sheen on. I need to do this other little earring, don't I? I'll just quickly do this with you. And then I'll come back once everything's totally buffed up. I'll not put you through it again. And there we go, that's that buffed. I'll just go around the edge a little bit with that. Not that it needs, not that it needs much. So there's my little earrings. That can go with my pendant. I've just got to give this a buff now, guys. So I'll come back in a sec when I've done this. And then I can show you how they work. See you in a minute. Hi guys, they're all done. Nice and bonny, lovely sheen on them. Just wanted to show you something. I was looking, somebody had said to try some sari yarn, or sari ribbon, whatever you want to call it. So I found this company, they're a UK company, on eBay. I will put a link to their shop. It's really, really lovely. They hand dye the saris, so I've managed to get a really lovely black. I got 2 packs of that, and I've never heard of this before, but this is banana yarn, and look at it. It's lovely and soft, and I actually thought that this pendant would look lovely hung on some of this. I'm not going to do it now because I need to unravel this and re-wrap it and it doesn't get knotted, but I will show you in the pictures these with findings on them. I just wanted to show you them because I was excited that I've found a new company that does all the, you know, it's all waste, it's been recycled, which is fabulous. Right, I've grabbed one of my favourite scarves. It's just it's quite a narrow scarf, and it's kind of tie-dyed in different colours of grey, and this is what I used to have my thing on. So I'm just going to put these on and show you what it'll look like with these on. I'll just get them fed through first. I will show you some pictures of it hung up properly, guys, but I just wanted to show you on here think this personally would look better if I'd maybe made a couple of silver ones to split it. But again, I was just having a go to see if I could do it. Let me get it in the middle. Right, so that's what it would look like. Let me spread them out a little bit. So when it's around your neck, you've obviously got your scarf around your neck, and then there's your dingle dangles on the edge. Yeah, on the in the middle, like part of making your scarf and necklace. And I'll just take these off, and I'll just show you this. So you've got your scarf ends. It's a bit hard to show you on the camera. If I can lift you out a bit, that might be better. Right. I don't know if you've all seen these, but you just slide your scarf through it. Now what I do is I've got that going that way, and I've got this one going the opposite way, like so. So that's around my neck, and then they dangle. But you can, you know, you can have it like to the side. They're just a really cool idea, aren't they? And they're pretty robust, as long as you do them thick enough. But they just make a nice gift idea, I think. So yeah, there we go, guys. We've got a scarf, buckle, slide, whatever you want to call them. And we've got some sort of scarf jewellery, which I will show you some better pictures when it's done. And of course, waste not, want not, we've got out of the scraps a nice pendant and a pair of earrings, and I haven't got that much scrap left, so I'll just be able to marble it and use it as a backing, because the backing on that looks lovely, doesn't it? I did buff it in the end. It looks like a galaxy or something. So there you go, guys. Hope you like that. I'll take plenty of pictures and put them up at the beginning of the video anyway. Don't know why I'm telling you this now, because you're going to see the pictures at the beginning of the video. Anyway, I'll leave you all to it. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.